Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning video on Tuesday the 2nd of April. It's still winter on the mountains though, and we've got a real mixture for the rest of this week. Generally showery, some more organised zones of snow across the mountains as well. Stay up to date with your local forecasts every day. Things becoming more of an easterly regime towards the weekend. Temperatures lifting a little bit. I think the pattern is still generally mixed even heading into next week. We'll start off with a look at temperatures, and as always the 850 millibar chart, and that represents a height in the atmosphere quite close to the highest Scottish tops at this stage, slightly above as we head onwards into the weekend, but gives us that feel for the temperatures. Sub-zero over the next day or so. Values will lift a little bit as time goes on to the rest of this week, but the tops of most mountains still around freezing or just below for a day or so yet. It might just lift slightly above as we go onwards into the weekend. Temperatures just changing subtly as the airflow originates more from the southeast. As we go onwards into next week though, it's still a cool easterly that will be in charge, and I think there'll be some freeze and thaw on the highest tops, not as cold air as what we're seeing just at the moment, but on the cool side as that easterly pattern tends to prevail, I think, for much of that week ahead. Let's have a look at the charts for the next few days. Wednesday has the potential to be quite a severe day, particularly across the north and east of Scotland. An area of low pressure pivoting back from the North Sea across the British Isles. A front wrapped around it will rotate across Scotland, so I think it's areas in the far north, the Cairngorms, maybe even further towards areas in Lochaber that see some snow on the mountains for many hours. Slightly less cold air getting in, turning it to rain at lower levels as time goes on. And away from Scotland, it's a story mostly of showers, but that could become more organised, especially in Wales, into some more persistent snow, some hail, risk of rumble of thunder around as well. Your winds will be mostly light in the centre of that low, but around the northwestern flank of it, the risk of gales or even severe gales for a time across the Northwest Highlands. It's a very complicated, messy chart as we go through the rest of the week. Don't try and get any absolute detail from this, but the overall message is everything going round in a circle. A bit of a washing machine effect, really, where showers and bits of troughs and fronts just keep encircling the British Isles, with some more organised snow and hail on the mountains, rain at lower levels, some showers that just move around very slowly. Locally, you could get away with some sunshine for a good many hours. It looks as though there's a feature that again is affecting the north and east of Scotland, could give more persistent snow and rain at low levels for a good few hours here. Friday looks relatively quieter, still uncertainties as these small centres of low pressure just rotate around each other. There could be still some zones of frequent rain, snow on higher levels, becoming restricted a bit more above 800 metres or even higher as temperatures tend to lift. We're dragging in that air a bit more from the southeast, just lifting those temperatures subtly. A scattering of showers is likely to be around, but also some decent dry periods. The wind rather strong and feeling cold then where exposed. Into the weekend, again, some complications, but it's more of a direct east, perhaps southeasterly regime. Some showers within that easterly flow coming on to most likely the eastern highlands. There could be a few still around elsewhere, but it's not quite so much under low pressure, so the showers not quite as widespread, not quite as potent, but if you catch a few, you could hang on to them for a few hours. Best of the cloud breaks and driest conditions generally towards more western mountains. Temperatures likely to be just above freezing on most of the hills. I think it'll be a similar story into Sunday. I won't try and get the detail of the chart because there's uncertainties with this pattern at 4 or 5 days ahead. Overall then, as we go forwards, it's high pressure which is lying somewhere to the north or northeast of us, somewhere around Scandinavia. Areas of low pressure somewhere over Europe and out towards our southwest always seem to maintain that generally east, perhaps at times southeasterly pattern. There'll be complications just depending on how close the lows which lie southwest of us get. If they do develop, then we could see showers becoming a bit more widespread again. More likely, though, the high pressure which is around Scandinavia dominates and fairly dry conditions will prevail over a few days with just a scattering of showers from time to time. Lowest cloud focused on more eastern hills across the Cairngorms, maybe onto the Pennines at times, with the best of the breaks focused across more western regions. should be a decent amount of sunshine out towards the west as well. The wind speeds will vary. Locally could be quite strong and gusty around some of the passes, a typical pattern then in an easterly setup across the Pennines, and even in places across the Highlands could be some low-level gustiness from day to day. Temperatures, as I mentioned at the start, will vary. I suspect most of the time at or just above freezing, but could just dip below as cooler air gets dragged in now and again. The further ahead we go, obviously things become much more uncertain, but many indications hold on to this idea of an east or a southeasterly pattern continuing well towards the middle of the month. So becoming less wintry with time, but still rather on the cool side, so be aware that there'll still be some lying snow on the mountains even heading towards the middle of the month, I would have thought. We'll keep an eye on all the details and update you every day on the website and all our written content, and the video will be updated on Friday. Thanks for watching, bye for now.